So, unless you've been living under a rock here recently, the NBA streets have been busy. We got Stephen A, we got LeBron going back and forth, creating dialogue and creating bags for all of us NBA creators. I can't even lie. Let's get into it. Stephen A. Smith did respond today because LeBron did troll him last night when it came to that boxing video when he was hitting the pass. We all know what that looked like. Stephen A. don't have them hoes. Simple and plain. So Stephen A. decided to get on First Take and talk about LeBron yet again, because that's what pays his bills. Let's get into it.
It started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it. Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait till the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, it's, and like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point.
The point that LeBron is referring to is the point that Stephen A. Smith criticized LeBron as a parent when he said as a father. I'm sure Stephen A. Smith is going to be willfully obtuse yet again in missing that point and then deflect to a GOAT argument that nobody's talking about. Let's see. I have not watched this video, but from previous Stephen A. Smith response videos, I am like 90% sure some of that is about to happen.
So LeBron James decides who really outside of his crew doesn't really have any friends in the media.
Did you hear that, everyone? Wait. Did everybody hear that? Did all of the LeBron haters hear that? Stephen A. Smith, king of ESPN media, says that LeBron James is no friends in the media. So please stop the narrative of La ESPN. LeBron's controlling the media. He's doing this. He's doing that. The nigga just said he don't have no media friends. Now, maybe he's lying. He just wanted to do yet another slight to LeBron. We don't know, but from his mouth, he just said LeBron has no friends in the media. So how is LeBron controlling the media with no friends in the media? Let's continue.
They were looking at it and they used the Steve Nash, the upcoming Mind Your Game podcast with Steve Nash to disguise what his real agenda was, which was to address me because he continues to lie.
Why does he think that LeBron needs an excuse to address him? What if LeBron wants to talk to you, he's going to talk to you. He doesn't need an excuse to talk to Stephen A. Smith. Who does Stephen A. Smith think he is?
When I talked about Bronny James early in the season, and I highlighted the fact that at that particular moment in time, he simply was not ready, I was calling out LeBron James. LeBron James never addresses that with anybody. For some reason, no one ever asked him about that. Wasn't it you who said that Bronny James was better than some players in the NBA right now before he was even drafted? Wasn't it you who said, if you want me, draft my son? Because
why does he keep making this point when, number one, it turns out that Bronny may actually have been better than some of these niggas, and number two,
didn't those comments happen prior to Bronny's heart attack? Am I tripping, chat? So obviously, yes, maybe after a life-altering event, maybe Bronny needs a little time to get back to form. Also, this point about Bronny not being ready, he's the 55th pick. Most first-round picks aren't ready to produce at any kind of level in the NBA as soon as they touch down. So another irrelevant point.
You wanted to play with your son for 1 year. Wasn't it you who literally circumvented meritocracy within the National Basketball Association and got the entire media world in the NBA and, of course, the Lakers organization to buy in on that? LeBron James did all of that. That is the person I was talking about as a father.
LeBron used his name and cachet and pull to get his son a job. How dare he? Like, what the? Who cares? And he got a job in the second round as a 55th pick in the G League. Mind you, Bronny, again, and I said this last night on the stream, link to the playback and all that will be in the description, by the way. Join the room. Bronny was projected to be a first-round pick coming out of high school. He then got a heart attack, had a heart attack, and slipped to the second round? If you remove names from that situation, that's not odd. First round pick, has a health scare, slides in the draft, doesn't mean he can't get drafted at all. He slid to the second round. You damn near at the end of the draft. 5 picks away from being the last pick of the draft. So not only did LeBron think he was good enough, A lot of NBA scouts and teams thought he was good enough.
Last time I checked, Bronny James is a professional basketball player. LeBron James went on national television yesterday and lied. He said that I have no problem with you talking about the game. What did I say about Bronny James other than at the time he wasn't ready? That was it. I said nothing else. So if that's the issue, and I pointed to LeBron James and the fact that you've circumvented a meritocracy just to get your wish at the expense of the credibility of the league in a lot of people's eyes, that's talking about you.
The expense of the credibility of the league was at hand because LeBron James Jr. got drafted in the second round. We gotta stop being so hyperbolic, bro. We gotta stop, bro. It's not that deep, bro. He got a job in the second round in the G League and is balling, by the way. Stephen A. Balling. So it turns out the pick was justified. I don't even know why we keep having this conversation when at the end of the day, at what we've seen, the matter of fact, the pick is justified. Bronny is good, or at least good for a second round 55th pick. He's 19, 20 years old, been balling in the G League.
This was planned. Rich Paul was on Pat McAfee's show about 10 days earlier, whatever. He didn't go there by accident. You're there talking with Pat McAfee, and the next thing you know, within 2 weeks, after obviously a negotiation took place, LeBron James was on it. We know a negotiation took place because we understand that since LeBron had uninterrupted, or whatever the hell it was called, he's been about control. He's been about making sure that things are his way. Us, as the media members, know it because of how his behavior has changed since he's had his own media outlet in terms of how he treats the media.
Yeah, he decided that he's going to control his narrative now through his own media devices because the way the media has treated him since, to be honest, ever since Skip Bayless started doing television, the guy that put you on and back on television on ESPN, ever since then, it's been nothing but hate and what he is not and what he can't do and what he doesn't have. That's what it's been about. So I don't blame him for getting his own media company. I don't blame him for trying to control his own narrative when the narrative that's been placed around him has been nasty due to somebody that you worked with on a day in, day out basis for multiple years.
The aftermath of that interview, what does he do? He puts out some page about me, boxing and all of this other stuff from a decade ago with 2 torn rotator cuffs. Fine, no problem. It's very, very embarrassing video. I'll be the first to say and all that stuff, even though I like it to be left up there. Because if people think I want to throw hands like that, that's how I throw hands. Knock yourself out.
Also, Stephen A., I don't know if anybody's told you, nobody buys the tough guy gimmick from you, my nigga. Nobody thinks that you got hands. Nobody thinks you can throw them hoes. Nobody think you bout that. Nobody thinks that. You're 60, my nigga. Your rotator cuffs may be back, but you're 60. Maybe now you can throw that slow ass left upward or on level and not downward because your shoulder isn't torn anymore. It's still a slow ass left hook. It's still slow. It's still, nobody cares. You weren't going to do anything to LeBron James. Stop this. Don't nobody care. Just address the other point. We don't even care about that. And in all actuality, it is just a funny video, and you're being trolled.
This man is in his feelings. I wonder why. Could it be because I don't believe you're the GOAT? Because I'll never believe you're the GOAT?
Oh my! I knew it. I knew it. We were about to transition into a GOAT debate. This has nothing to do with the GOAT debate, bro. Who cares? That's all these niggas want to do is say he's not Jordan. We got it. We get it. We're good. Holy, bro. All we do is transit. Bro, we had a segment that we looked at yesterday about when LeBron said the 250-point comment about Giannis. They turned that into a LeBron is in Michael Jordan debate. And now LeBron James, and not only LeBron James, multiple people now have acknowledged the fact. And on top of that, Stephen A. has acknowledged the fact that LeBron went up to him because you said as a father. LeBron then took that personally because he thought you were critiquing his fatherhood or his parenting. That is the crux of the issue. It isn't because you don't think he's the GOAT. That is a deflection point at this point. You went on national television pleading to LeBron as a father. Oh, LeBron, I'm begging you, I'm pleading. Stop doing this to Bronny. Like he doing something bad, bro. But what does Stephen A want to do? Turn this into a Michael Jordan LeBron debate. Finna start calling this nigga Stephen A. Bayless.
Was that these are basketball things that I'm mentioning. Who got personal?
You, when you said as a father, is he slow?
There's no way. There's no way. You got personal when you said as a father. What basketball, can anybody tell me, what basketball statement starts with as a father? It's not, you were the one that got personal.
He's lying when he says that I attacked his son. When he came up to me courtside at the Lakers-Knicks game, he was lying then. He threw me off guard because he said, you can't be pooping on my son because we over FCC areas. You can't be doing that. I didn't know what he was talking about, so it threw me off. And he came up to me and said, what the hell are you doing talking about me as a father? I would say it's because of what you were doing with your son on the basketball court for public consumption.
Here is the slightest bit of truth in all of this, in all honesty. When LeBron does come out and say that Bronny is better than some of the guys in the NBA, when he does hype him up, gets him in the league, yada, 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 whatever, people are going to talk about him. That's fair, fine, and dandy, right? The flip side to that, though, is, are you going to be fair and honest about his play, number one, and are you going to contextualize, bring up the context of said son not being able to play basketball regularly due to a health scare? He hasn't been able to train, get the basketball reps that he's been wanting to get because he almost passed away. Why is that something, especially if you are a parent? This is what I'm not understanding. You are a parent, and so the father has his child have a health scare and says, you know what? I want to have more time around my son. We both do this profession. We both play this game called basketball. So damn it, I'm going to get my son on the team in the second round as the 55th pick after I just almost lost him. That game that he keeps going to also, by the way, I think it was the Philly game in which Stephen A was referencing. That was a second night of a back-to-back. We had X amount of players hurt. Bronny had just dropped like 30 in the G League, so he got a call up and got a shot because X amount of players were hurt at the guard position. He had just balled out, so we got called up for an opportunity. He didn't play well. But do you even bring up any of that stuff that went into the decision? You just harp on the fact that he got some minutes and didn't play. Shocker. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. A rookie got some minutes in the NBA game and didn't play well. Shocker. I know, we're used to rookies averaging 30. I get it. Apparently, there are all these rookies averaging 30.
They don't bring up all the time. We praise the players. I applaud them when they win. I criticize them when they're messing up in an effort to make sure that you don't do it again. I'm not wishing anybody to fail, but I have to call it how I see it because I have
the best thing you can do
is try to create a positive narrative. But the point is, and I think the point for a lot of people is, that's all it's turned out to be now. That's all the media is, narrative. But all you do, Stephen A, you're either going to create a positive or negative narrative about a player. And if that's what you call coverage, then you and a lot of people just aren't seeing eye to eye anymore, bruh.
These players, I don't get paid to talk to you. I get paid to talk about you. But I am happy to talk to you anytime you want to. I offered LeBron James that opportunity in his camp years ago. They passed. I said, I'll come wherever you want me to come. You don't have to come on my platform. I'll come on yours. He passed. I said, I don't want any editing. I want the audience. I want America. I want the world to hear it live, authentic, and in living color. I can say that to him right now. Ain't nobody hiding. But the bottom line is, I don't anticipate he's going to take me up on that offer just for the same reason he came up to me courtside instead of meeting me in the back in the locker room so we could talk man to man. He doesn't want a rebuttal. He doesn't want any pushback. He just wants.
Did you address LeBron man to man as a father?
If you wanted to address LeBron as a father, then why didn't you do that in private? Why did you do that in public? My parents and a lot of black, children growing up know the saying, you get woe out where you show out. If you acting a fool in the grocery store, you finna get that ass whooped in the grocery store. Stephen A., if you are critiquing LeBron as a parent publicly, LeBron has every right to address you publicly. He does not have to go behind the scenes and talk to you off camera and all. No, you talked about him publicly. So he, in response, responded to you publicly.
He's got something behind his back, ready to stab you in it. It's who he has been. It's who I have known him to be. It's why he doesn't like me, because he knows I know it. And it's why I certainly don't like him. But it's not going to stop me from being professional at all times.
I do, and again, I said this before, I do at least like the fact that he does say out loud that he doesn't like LeBron. The problem is, Stephen A., is that we already all knew that before you said it, which means you're doing a bad job at your job.
America, the world. I work for ESPN. I will not dishonor this network. I will not dishonor this profession by being unprofessional when it comes to somebody I don't like.
You've already been
I don't
unprofessional.
like you as a person doesn't mean I cannot appreciate your unquestionable, undeniable, unparalleled greatness.
In fact, that makes your statement even worse. Now that I'm thinking about it, the fact that you know that you two do not like each other, and in fact dislike each other, makes it all the more worse that you went on national airways and critiqued him as a parent. That actually makes it worse. You already know the last thing two adults usually do if they know that there is some tension there is then critique their child and or their parenting. Because we already know we don't fuck with each other. We don't like each other.
I know who LeBron James is and what he has meant to basketball, but I also know how he's alienated a lot of folks along the way. I'm not the only one. I'm just one of the few that is in a position to speak up about it. The brother ain't scaring me. Ain't nobody shivering this way. I don't care what he feels or what he has to say. I stand by the
Hey, Molly.
things that I said. I have never, ever gone after somebody's family, and I would never do that. And he is creating this narrative because he can't accept the fact that I won't kiss the ring and acknowledge him as the greatest ever. Why? Because he is not. He had to learn to win. His heart got snatched right out of his chest in an NBA Finals series against the Dallas Mavericks in 2011 when he went 4 straight.
Does everybody not have to learn how to win? I'm sorry. Did Phil Jackson not come into the Chicago Bull organization and said that not LeBron, excuse me, Michael Jordan needed to learn how to trust his teammates a little bit more in order to capture the ultimate prize, which is a championship? So Michael Jordan had to learn how to win.
I have a right to believe that Michael Jordan is the greatest ever and LeBron James is number 2. I have the right to feel that way without him feeling like I called him everything but a child of God.
That has not been the argument the entire time. He just spent like 7 minutes intentionally missing the point.
Nobody cares who's the GOAT. That is not the point. That's not the problem. That wasn't even the conversation.
Than accusing me and my reputation and my character of going after somebody else's family. I don't do that. I never would. I would have dishonored this network. I would have dishonored Disney. I would have dishonored the NBA that I've covered for over a quarter of a century. And I would have dishonored myself. He ain't worth it. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to call it like the hell I see it. And that's the way it has been. That is the way it is. And that is the way it is going to stay. Because bottom line, last point is this. The day he came up to me was the day a new contract was announced. So he knows, like everybody else, it's going to be a little while before I go away. I was here before he got here in 2003. And in all likelihood, I'm going to be here when he's gone. You got to deal with that, bro. Plain and simple. It ain't a crime for Michael Jordan to be a GOAT. But clearly, it's a crime with him. And he goes through all of these histrionics and all of this other stuff with Pat McAfee. Be my damn guest. Love Pat McAfee. Show. Great job. Any other show on
Can we talk about, let's also talk about
this situation between you and ESPN and your new contract. The fact of the matter is, can we be honest? Number one, ESPN has laid off so many people that you are one of the ones to pay. That's number one. Number two, you were pushing for that contract because that is your last breath in the sports media world, Because when we go to your channel, we already know what you're pivoting to. Because sports, you covering sports on your own network and on your own time and on your own show wasn't yielding the results that you wanted to, and in fact weren't yielding the results that would be of somebody to get paid $100 million for sports coverage. We've gone to your channel before. We know the videos that are doing numbers. There's a reason why you finna go on tour with Chris Como and Bill O'Reilly, because that's what's getting you the numbers. We know why you've pivoted away from sports on your channel, unless it's some drama or some beef going on that you know you can capitalize on viewership. So yeah, you can keep going around, and I'm glad you got paid. I ain't never wanted to not. Hey, you got that 100 M's, and I hope it's some more black people for that network that's finna get another 100 M's and 200 M's and 300 M's. Hey, I ain't look. I ain't I ain't hating on that. Get your money. But I'm just saying though, like this really your Philly PG contract. If I'm gonna keep it a K, this is your Philly PG contract. Because the real person worth 9 figures up there are the Pat McAfees, the Shannon Sharps, these people that are able to galvanize an audience on their platform and about and around sports. You have to do it by replying to Ben Shapiro.
ESPN, y'all continue to do what you do. But LeBron James coming on any show, on this network or any other, doesn't escape me. Let's go on with first take.
Okay, we're 17 minutes in, so I'm actually going to go to break. But you're good, Stephen A?
I'm very good. Very good.
I'm glad you're very good.
That was so sassy. Stephen A talking about Kobe.
Kobe, for whatever reason, got brought into this.
You'd be happy with the things that I have brought up. I never brought up really, I never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service. I never really brought up or discussed why you did not attend Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction when that man was directly responsible for you capturing the championship for the first time in your career. I brought up none of that.
First off, LeBron was at the memorial service, and secondly, I thought you go around hollering to the heavens that all you do is talk about basketball. What does this have to do about LeBron playing basketball? Nothing. It has nothing to do with LeBron playing basketball. Why is this a topic? Why is this a thing? He be contradicting himself in the same episode. I just don't get it, bro. He corrected himself about. My point isn't even about him being wrong about LeBron being at the ceremony or not. He says that he talks about the game and the sport. So why are we talking about LeBron being at Kobe's memorial service that has nothing to do with LeBron playing basketball?
I didn't bring up the fact that even though when people had asked, you had alluded to what had happened tragically to your son, and thank God he's okay with his heart condition. I didn't bring up the fact that even though you couldn't go to the Hall of Fame induction of Dwayne Wade weeks earlier, you were out of the country on business. I didn't bring that up.
Oh man, I don't even want to finish this clip, man. Like it's just weird, bro. Like, so now you're dictating and criticizing if he's showing up to niggas like ceremonies, like after his son had a heart attack. Oh my goodness, bro. Let's see. Then you got this clip.
My last thing, and I'm glad y'all brought up the Mind the Game podcast. And the one thing I will say, sharing the locker room with LeBron James, being LeBron James' teammate, being in McDonald's All-American, all that, he is one of the brightest basketball minds I've ever been around. Okay, you lose J.J. Redick, and then you go out and get Steve Nash. I would never question Steve Nash's IQ or his intelligence when it comes down to the game of basketball. But Richard Jefferson just got hired as on our A team to cover the NBA Finals. He's smart as hell. Shannon Fry, who won the championship with LeBron James, who does NBA TV, he's intelligent as hell. Phil Handy, who LeBron James won 2 championships with, who's now doing his own thing. He's intelligent as hell. Hell, Draymond Green. Well, I know Draymond Green ruffled the feathers, but no one could ever question his basketball mind or his basketball IQ. He's smart as hell. So what I'm getting at is, why none of those guys, LeBron? These are your guys. Why none of those guys don't mind the game? And I'll leave it at that.
And so will I.
This is so weird, bro. Oh my God. This is so where so what are we insinuating? That he doesn't do stuff with black people? Mind you, Rich Paul is his homie and agent from where he from. What race is Rich Paul? Okay. Mav Carter, his business partner. Again, another gentleman in which he came up with from where he from. Mav Carter is okay. Also, hasn't he gone on Richard Jefferson's show? And you know what? Because again, we're not even talking about basketball at this point. Now y'all are just trying to find ways to criticize. Literally. This has nothing to do with the sport. Babe, that's what I think about the response from Stephen A. Smith this morning and about this situation as a whole. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and also check the description for all the links. I'll have my link to my playback room. Make sure you add the playback. Follow me on TikTok, and follow me on Twitter if you don't. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.